Sadhu, sadhu, namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Dutiyampi Sangham Saranam Gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Tatiyampi Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Sadhu, sadhu. So, my friends, I would like to share with you a really important teaching to our meditations. So, this was a story. So, there was a monk. One day, so the Buddha, he was living with the Buddha. So one day he went to the Buddha and said, "Sir, I would like to enter to the village for alms." So then the Buddha said, "Please, Meghiya, go at your convenience." Then Meghiya, the monk's name, Meghiya, rode up in the morning and took his alms bowl and went to the village for the alms round. After the meal, on his return from alms round, he saw a very beautiful river. Okay. Close by the river, there was a very beautiful mango garden, very big mango garden. So, what might be the thought he got when he saw this? Can you guess what happens when we see such a beautiful mango garden with close by a river with sand beaches, like, and it's very sunny. So, for a monk, in monk's perspective, the monk usually think, oh, this is the best place to meditate. So he thought like this, oh, this mango grove is lovely and delightful. This is good enough for the striving for a gentleman, worthy to strive. That's what he thought, okay? And he remembered, if the Buddha allows me, because I'm his attendant, I'll come back to this mango grove to meditate. So this is the imagination we have. Oh, whenever I have the time, I'll meditate. Whenever I have a forest, I'll meditate. Whenever I have a holiday, I will meditate. So this is kind of a thought like we all have. Now he start to imagine now so many things about meditations. I will still my mind, and then I will get the psychic powers, and I can then like fly through the air. And I might also be able to read others' minds. So now he start to imagine all these stuff. Actually, more like he's fantasizing the thoughts. Then Venerable Meghiya went up to the Buddha, bowed and sat down to one side and told him what had happened. So he said, I was going around the alms round and I saw a river, and I also a forest. I saw a forest. So he said, if the Buddha allows me, I'll go back to that mango grove to meditate. When he had spoken, the Buddha said to him, we are alone, Meghiya. I'm alone. Wait until another monk comes. Now the Buddha saw, now this monk is in a hurry. I want to meditate, I want to still my mind, I should make it happen anyway. Because I have a mango garden, I have a river. But the Buddha said, we are alone. I'm alone. I'll wait until another mendicant comes. For a second time, Meghiya said to the Buddha, Sir, the Buddha has nothing more to do and nothing that needs improvement. But I have. If you allow me, I'll go back to that mango grove to meditate. Now he's like being forced by that memory of the mango grove. Now he said, Buddha has nothing to do. You already did the task, Buddha. If you allow me, I'll go to that mango garden to meditate. Second time, Buddha said, we are alone, Meghiya. Wait until another mendicant comes. For the third time, Meghiya said, Sir, the Buddha has nothing more to do and nothing that needs improvement, but I have. Now, who's the teacher? The teacher is the Buddha. But what happened to this Bhante is that he said he wanted to go to the mango garden and to meditate. So again, the monk said, Buddha doesn't need any improvement. You already did the task, so I have, so please allow me. So usually you have asked something 3 times by the Buddha, so Buddha gave you the permission. So Buddha said, Meghiya, since you speak of meditation, what can I say? Meghiya, you say that you need to meditate, so what can I say then? Please, Meghiya, go at your convenience. Okay, you can go. So he went. Now he's going so much happily. Okay, now my teacher allowed me, so I'll go to the forest and I'll sit down and I'll meditate and I'll still my mind. Then Meghiya got up from his seat and bowed respectfully, circled the Buddha, keeping him on his right. Then he went to that mango grove, having plunged deep into it. Sat at the roof of a certain mango tree for the day's meditation. So he went and folded his leg, just like us. So sat down under a tree and he started to meditate. But other than getting successful meditation, what happened to him was that he was beset mostly by three kinds of bad, unskillful thoughts, namely sensual thought, malicious thought, cruel thoughts. In other words, thoughts regarding the pleasure of the senses, angry thoughts, and thoughts wanting to harm, like thoughts which says to do harm. So these are the thoughts that he was experienced. And it said that this place where he got delightness, and the place that he got so much attracted is in a previous life. The commentaries say, in a previous life, he was a king. Okay, that was the place where he had his palace. For 500 lives, he lived there as a prince. And because of that, while he was having the singings, dancings in his previous life, so he got this thought of sense pleasures. And again, when he was commanding the people who did wrong to go and punish them, so he had these cruel thoughts and also the angry thoughts. Okay, so we don't need to think like this is what's our palace. We lived here before, like we were kings and queens in previous lives. No, but this one was happening to him. So that's just a side story from the commentary. But now back to the sutta, he said, then he thought, oh, how incredible, how amazing. I have gone forth from my lay life to homelessness out of faith, but I'm still harassed by these three kinds of bad, unskillful thoughts. I'm getting these distractions again and again. What are these thoughts? Sensual thoughts, malicious thoughts, and cruel thoughts, which means thoughts connected to the senses, sense pleasures, and resistive thoughts and cruel thoughts. Then in the late afternoon, Venerable Meghiya came out from retreat and went up to the Buddha. Now he is going back to see the Buddha. So his meditation wasn't very good. He didn't have any successful meditations. So he was so sad. And he was like going like a bird which is like broken wings, so much sadly. So he was going to see the Buddha. So now the moral of the story is like, though that we think, expect, though that we like imagine, we can't achieve those benefits of the meditations as we want. So there is a process for that. So what we need is the dedication. So now so he came back to Buddha. When the Buddha saw him, did he say, "Oh, I told you, I told you not to go, so I didn't give you the permission, but see what happened"? No. What the Buddha said, out of compassion, he said, Meghiya, when the heart's release is not ripe, 5 things help it to ripen. What does it mean? When the heart is not well ripened, there are things which we can make it ripen. What do we call by ripening? Can we eat a raw mango, a raw apple? Can we eat something which is very raw? No, we can't. But what if the mango is so much ripened and yellow colored and very tasty? So it's well ripened and we can eat it. So the Buddha said, Well, we are not vampires, we don't need to eat our heart, but I mean, like, we need to ripen up the heart to be able to make it malleable. Malleable to put it into any task. There is such a thing. We can use we can use techniques to make it ripen, make our mind ripen. Not everybody get this chance, though that everyone has a mind. It's very rare to get to make it ripen. So can you guess? Doing what we can make the mind very easy to do any mental training. Keeping the theater. Yeah, very good. Any other answers? With the birth, we don't have this ripening mind, but we ourselves have to do that. Yes? Attraction? Attention.
Versus reaction. So the reactive attention, you focus our attention all the time.
Yeah, yeah, very good. Yeah, that's a good answer. Yeah. Living with intention. Yeah, very good. Okay. Now the Buddha said, now he saw even that monk Meghiyasutta was a monk, that does not mean he has a ripened mind, which is like very easy to put into any purpose, any task. So Buddha said, you need to work on your mind this way. First, a monk or any practitioner has good friends, good companions, and associates. This is the first thing to support, to ripen up your mind, which means the way, the people that we live with does a straight influence to our heart. So if we are living with the people who are mindful or training mindfulness or practicing meditations or doing skillful things, so that can support us to ripen up our mind. So this is one of the benefits of meditating as group, as a circle, as a group. So we have now this opportunity. So we are going to do meditations. How long? 2 days. From today, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So we will see most of the time people who are meditating and people who try to meditate, people who listen to the meditation techniques, and yeah, these things will bring us kind of support to ripen up our mind. Okay. Now the Buddha said, before the sun rises, there is something called dawn. So the sky is white before the sun arises. So the white sky tells us in near future the sun will arise. The same way Buddha said, if somebody has a good companion, good associates, good friends to their life, so they will, in near future, they will ripen up their heart. So, yes. Now for us, the good friend is the Buddha. So he gave us the teachings to ripen up our heart. So, but what happened to the Meghiyasutta was that when the Buddha saying, Buddha was giving a kind of a hint for him to stay here, meditate more, so you will get that success. But he left the good friend. The second one, Furthermore, a mendicant, the monk or practitioner, is ethical, restrained in the monastic code, conducting themselves well, and seeing danger in the slightest fault. They keep the rules they have undertaken. And this is the second thing. So today we gave you the 8 precepts. So that doesn't mean it's like immoral conduct. I mean, like we have immorality or something, but it is directly support our mindfulness. So you can like we can live like whatever the way, but when we get this training rules, it can bring us kind of like restraint over our action, which later brings us regret and worry. When we sit down to meditate, if we have something in our life which brings us kind of a regret, so we can meditate. It's not peaceful. So that mind is not vibrant. But when we try to be with the training rules, so always there is an ongoing happiness, keeps within you, kind of a soothing feeling with your sense restraint. Again, Buddha say, all the people, trees, buildings, vehicles, everything has a ground or foundation on the earth. Everybody, we walk on the earth, and animals and the cars and trees, everything are on the earth. So the same way Buddha say, every meditation should ground on the training rules. Again, Buddha say, mother give birth to the child the same way. The training rules gives you birth to the skillful, any skillful thing. Okay, so that is the second one. So can you recall what was the first thing one need to open up the heart? First one, yeah, good association. Second one, the sila, good ethical conduct. What was the third one? Can you guess? What are the other things which help us to ripen our mind, our heart? Okay, what if we talk about gossip? And that happened, this happened, what will gonna happen? Like that person like to dress this dress, and that person like to eat that food, and then this country is like this, that country is like that, and this is a delicious food, and that is not a delicious food. So, well, what happened if we talk like whatever comes to our mind? Does that ripen up our heart? No, not in any way. But so what we should talk? Buddha say that a practitioner gets to take part in talk, helps that open the heart, leads to the dispassion, leads to peace, leads to insight, leads to awakening. So they do such a discussion. So they do it whenever they want, without trouble or difficulty. So they talk about that's the talk that is fewness of wishes. They talk about contentment. They talk about meditation. They talk about freedom. They talk about arousing energy. So this discussion helps us to ripen the heart. Okay, that's the third one. So not to talk about anything which brings us anger. Should not talk about anything which brings us greed. We should not talk about anything which cast off our energy. So we should not talk about any other unskillful things as we can find. So Buddha say you should talk only about the fewness of wishes, contentment, and ethical conduct, freedom, about arousing energy. So this is the third one. As long as we discuss about these things, so it helps us to bring us mind into rightening. So mind will not be so much distracted there. So mind will always stay peacefully because we know what we're talking. So that talk will brings us peace. Furthermore, a practitioner lives with energy roused up for giving up unskillful qualities and embracing skillful qualities. So the practitioner should also cultivate this quality of energy. So when we meditating, so we need the energy which is always roused up, which means always we should keep doing it. Let's say I think like I need to meditate, so soon after I think I should meditate, then in the next moment what happened is that my energy was fade away. So I need to do it, think again and again. So I should meditate, I should meditate. So I should keep arousing my energy every time that I think I should rousing up this energy. They should be strong with their effort. They should not slack. They should not slacking off when it comes to developing skillful qualities. So one should have a strong determination, whatever happens. So I will do my best to meditate. I will do my best to focus my attention towards my meditation object. So it is very easy to give up. It's very easy to let go of the desires of meditating. So, but we always need to focus energy towards our meditation. This is worth of trying. So this is very important. You know, one day there was a monk. So when he was going to meditate, so he was actually sitting and meditating, and he was nodding. So he was very sleepy. He can't meditate. He don't see any success in his meditation. So because of that sleepiness, so he thought, well, I can't give up. So I'm meditating, so I should somehow still my mind. So he thought, okay, I'll stand and I'll do walking meditation. So then he started to walk. Can you guess what happened? Out of sleepiness, that much sleepiness, out of sleepiness, he fell down on the walking path while he was doing walking meditation. Such a sleepiness. So he had. So then, if it happened to me, to be honestly, I would sleep there on the ground. But he thought this much far, so I couldn't concentrate my mind. I suffer a lot with too much uh, uh, too much distractive thoughts. My mind is always going past and it's wondering about future. Now he was thinking in that felt like in that like after he was failed, he was thinking if I were to give up, so I would never ever be able to still my mind even in the future because this is my obstacle. So while he was doing such a like a wise way of thinking, so he gave the rise to the energy and he thought, I should not sleep here, I should stand up. And then he stand up and then he removed all the sand by his hands and his body. And just 3 steps, he went just 3 steps and he stilled his mind. and he opened up to the reality, and he understood all the Four Noble Truths and liberated from all the suffering. So the place that we give up is also the place that we have our victory. Maybe not the exact place, maybe 2 or 3 steps ahead. Okay, so we should not in any way to give up our energy. We should keep on doing and bringing that energy again and again. So my friends, whenever you get into sleepiness, so try your best to rise up and arouse your energy. Try your best to stand up and from that laziness, try your best to give away, like remove all the tiredness and sleepiness. You can also try to do the walking meditation, and still you can do the same meditation while walking. So, and the last one is, furthermore, a practitioner is wise to see the arising and falling, arising and passing away of whatever in the life. So that is called wisdom. So the ultimate sense, the everything in our life, whether it's perceptions, feelings, thoughts, anything in our life has the nature of arising and passing. So that is the perfect knowledge, that is the final knowledge we need to gain. So what they say, that knowledge also support us, our mind to ripen. So those are the 5 things which helps us to ripen our heart. Now can you remember, friends? Okay, now we dedicated our time today to do this. So let's remember these 5 things, so then we can spend all our day by practicing these things. First one, no association with noble friends. So you will see lots of noble friends here, so you can talk with each other, but don't talk about gossips, but talk about what? The next one. Talk about fullness of wishes, arousing energy. Talk about contentment. Talk about detachment. Talk about freedom. So you can talk that such a discussion. And what was the other one? Sorry, I broke the order. Do you remember the next? Yeah, sila, the ethical conduct. Yeah. Maybe you might remember that in the 8 precepts, we had a rule called eating at improper times. Well, come on, anytime is a proper time to eat. Why is it improper? It is because we are trying to be like the Buddha. We are trying to be like the enlightened Bhaktis. So they stopped having meal after noon, after 12. For easy to meditate. So only for these 2 days we will have that 2 precepts to protect. So because like everything, every thoughts in our mind is focused into food and sense pleasures. So in the food there is beauty, like in the food there is the attraction, like when it decorated and when it has like the cherry and the icing, and when we see that, so it takes our attraction so much. So that's sight, okay? And then if somebody is frying something, like somebody is like frying tomatoes, like we hear the sound, oh, that's the sound, the attractive sound. And again the smell, and again the taste, and again the touch. So when we touch the food and our lips touch the food, so it is an attraction there. And again the thought about the food. So if we regulate the food, So we can regulate our craving in the mind. So that, as a result, balance our peace of mind. So we don't need too much think about the food. So yeah. So yeah, good associations, ethical conduct, good discussion, arousing energy, and wisdom. Okay. Now he say how this works. What they say, but then mendicant, grounded on these five things, you should further develop these meditations. Now you already have the ground so your mind is already ripened now because you had these five things. So now Buddha say, grounded on that, you should develop the perception of unattractiveness to give up greed. So we will learn these in the future. These are meditations. So the first one is to give up the greed. You should meditate on unattractiveness, the perception of unattractiveness. Again, Buddha say the loving kindness to give up hate. And mindfulness on breathing to cut off thinking. And perception of impermanence to uproot the conceit I am. When you perceive impermanence, the perception of not-self becomes stabilized. Perceiving not-self, you uproot the conceit I am and attain the final liberation. Okay, these are the meditations we are going to do. So now I have to say this. So now, what do you think, my friends? Did this monk had those qualities, five things? Did he have this ground before he's going to meditate? No. So that's why Buddha say, a practitioner who have good friends can expect to be ethical as long as the practitioner has a good friend. It should be expected that that person will have a ethical conduct. A practitioner who have good friends can expect to take part in good discussion. A practitioner who has good friends can expect to be energetic. A practitioner who has good friends can expect to be wise. So which means the person who has a good friend will have the opportunity to ripen up the mind, to ripen up the heart. Now the Buddha said, right after giving this teaching, he said a beautiful verse. Lesser thoughts and subtle thoughts arising, springing up in the mind. Is it true or not? Is it true? Is this saying true? Lesser thoughts and subtle thoughts arise, springing up in the mind. It's true. Not understanding these thoughts, one with mind astray runs all over the place. Please make my mind still. Please make my mind still. Please help me. Please somebody help me. So with somebody, like something happened to the mind. So distraction so much. So is there an app I can meditate? Is there a video clip I can meditate? Is there a book I can meditate? Is there a teacher I can meditate? So we type on the YouTube how to meditate. So then there comes like millions of techniques and teachings. So is still the problem persists. So sometimes people out of commercial like intention, sometimes people say like this is the correct mindfulness, so meditate, so you should like do this and then you'll achieve these things. But people are using our curiosity towards the mindfulness, and we always remains without gaining this liberation and widening of the heart. So Buddha said, having understood these thoughts, that's the solution. Having understood these thoughts that arise, springing up the mind, an awakened one, keen, restrained, and mindful, has given them up without remainder, which means you can give up all the destructive thoughts without remainder by doing what? Having understood these thoughts. So you understand this is sensual thought, this is angry thought, this is a harmful thought. Not only you understand, you start to remove them. So you remove them with the applying techniques and meditations. So then we'll learn in future about these techniques of giving up unskillful thoughts. So yeah, so this day is very important for every one of us. There will be a time that you will really need these techniques at some point in your life. So, okay, good luck, my friends. So before our break, let's meditate 5 minutes, okay? Now try to focus your attention up to your breathing. Whenever you breathe in, think to yourself, in, 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 in.